Quick fun fact. Out of the 50 U.S. states, well, 52 if you include D.C. and Puerto Rico, 21 of those states and territories have one NBA team. Now, that geographical breakdown is how we determine the Eastern and Western conferences. Now, subsequently, that's how we also determine the six divisions. And within those divisions, well, you have a lot of drama. We got a lot of news. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of content, bro. All right. So, you're watching your favorite show, Get a Bucket. I'm your host, Trey. So let's tune in and see what NBA division we're going to talk about today. The Charlotte Hornets are currently 13th in the Eastern Conference. But again, did you really expect too much better? Because I daggone sure didn't. I thought they was going to be retooling. You got LaMelo Ball. You just drafted Brandon Miller with the third pick. You got Mark Williams last year. You know what I'm saying? Miles Bridges had his whole issues. You do have some talented players like Terry Rozier and then P.J. Washington, Gordon Hayward. Like, you got some boys, right? All right, cool. It's a little disorganized over there in Charlotte. And I think you got to start worrying about the future. Well, not worrying about like you're scared, but thinking about preparing for the future because you actually could turn it around. Let's talk about it, shall we? So I think outside of LaMelo Ball, obviously, you have your best young assets are Mark Williams and Brandon Miller, who you just drafted over the last 2 years. Mark Williams, I'm biased about this one, but, a big man came out of Duke, so he come from good stock, right? And then you got Brandon Miller out of Alabama, who you just drafted, who's also a wing, a scoring-minded wing, who apparently is a really good athlete. Like, you can't really skimp on that. Well, when you look at Mark, you might be able to, because he's supposed to be a pretty good athlete, his daggone self, and rim protector. Which asset is going to be second up to LaMelo Ball? Is it going to be Mark Williams? Is this going to be a James Harden and Clint Capella type situation, big man and a guard type? Or is this going to be maybe a guard and a wing? Because at 6'7" and then 6'9", LaMelo and Brandon Miller, that could be a solid little combo. So I'm interested which duo is going to emerge. But I got to say, for Mark, I need to see you improve your blocks a little bit. Like, in college, I remember you doing well against Chet Holmgren, who right now is for Rookie of the Year, possible DPOY. Chet's averaging 2.7 blocks. You give him 1.1. I understand he came there a year early still. No, y'all came in the same year. So you have no excuse. Improve your blocks, because that's what we need to see. I would love to say scoring as well, but that's also contingent upon the guards. With Brandon Miller, I ain't gonna hold you. You're kind of outperforming my expectations right now. So for me, I just want to see you improve your activity, especially on the defensive end. You're too good of an athlete to not be an elite defender. And I know you're not strong enough yet. That'll come. But I want to see a little bit more activity on the defensive end. And really just overall, too, help out with the rebounds when you can. But that's what I'm looking to see from these boys. I might want to lean Brandon, but I'm biasly going to say Mark right now for who's going to be runner-up. But again, Brandon Miller, you've been outperforming my expectations, so I got to give my tip of the cap to you. But the Charlotte Hornets, though, hey, with the right moves, these boys could be on their way to looking all right. But let's follow it, though. Let's see what it's shaking like. The Orlando Magic are 4th in the Eastern Conference. Fourth? Hey, yo, what? I remember when Paolo got drafted, right? I said, well, you gotta wait on these boys for about 2 to 3 seasons. And well, we a little early. Because I said that, again, he got drafted last year, ladies and gentlemen. So, well, if we're a little early, where should we be expecting these Orlando Magic to actually fall in the playoffs? Because they're going to get to the playoffs now. I know the Jazz last year might be having y'all a little worried. No. This Magic team, they're going to get to the playoffs. They got the depth. They got the talent. I think they're good enough to get there. First round exit? It looks like it. But they've also been doing pretty well against the top tier teams. Look at the Celtics, a top team not a top. Record-wise, the top. And the Magic have been beating the Celtics. Like, it's wild. So, again, they could sneak into that second round and help some other teams out. if they face a team like the Celtics, because they match up really well against them. But I'm expecting a first round exit. Unless they go up against a team like, well, I don't know, the Cavs, the Pacers, they can be, like the 5 through 8s. That's what I'm expecting from the Magic this season. But again, I said it when they first drafted Paolo, 2 to 3. And well, we a little year early. So maybe they mess up my predictions and go to the Eastern Conference Finals. Who knows? But again, I'm assuming first round. But let's see what happens with the Magic. They have a young, entertaining team right now. Could be a team of the future to watch out for. Yeah. And also, I'm curious to see what the lessons learned from this season will be. Because, again, a good young team, they're going to make mistakes. So I'm excited as hell to see what these boys do come playoffs and next season. The Miami Heat are currently 5th in the Eastern Conference. And, well, their big three ain't doing that bad, I gotta say. Especially when you think about the injuries that have been happening. Well, they all right. They cool. They looking kind of surprising, right? They got some solid, like, Jaime Jaquez Jr. Hey, he might be replacing Triple J as the new Triple J, because he's been doing his thing this year and only as a rookie. That's kind of smooth. But I don't want to focus on them, the team. I want to focus on the coach. Eric Spoelstra. Is he the best coach in the NBA? Yes, you have a good team to boot. But when you put this team talent-wise compared to the other teams in the NBA, they're not the top-tier teams. But this Heat team could actually, and I want to choose my words carefully, they could actually go back to the finals this year. I don't know if I'm going to say, I don't know if I want to put down my money right here. But there's a good chance that this Heat team, if they're healthy, could sneak into the finals. Because, well, Tyler Hero, he's been producing. Bam, like I said, the trio has been producing, right? And Jimmy has not had to be Jimmy Jeffrey Jordan. But it's also the schemes that Eric Spoelstra's been doing. Like, bro has actually decided to go zone against teams like the Warriors, which, yeah, the Warriors are struggling. But a team like the Warriors should be able to eat up a zone. So clearly he's tweaking the zones for NBA talent. Shutting down Steph and Clay? That's top notch. So again, Eric Spoelstra, yeah, you have a good team. But bro, hey, you're a good scheme as well. You're a good schemer as well. So I got to tip my cap to the Heat, because from top to bottom, them boys are looking all right. And that's why I say, don't sleep on the Heat potentially getting back to the NBA Finals this season. At least as of right now. All right, so look, the Washington Wizards are 14th in the East. Ooh. Are you really surprised, though? I mean, they stars are Kyle Kuzma and Jordan Poole, respectfully. And I'm not trying to say, oh, they're trash. Some of y'all might say that. But I'm not trying to say they trash. I just think they're young. Kyle Kuzma has been improving, actually. And Jordan Poole, despite what y'all believe, I think he's actually showing a little bit more promise and improvement than what we've been seeing. And especially if you've been following social media, right? But you got to start wondering, are these players trade-worthy or keepable? And I think you might end up trading these boys. Because, well, Kuz, you're actually getting a lot of attention right now. People are saying that you have been taking a little bit more onus in terms of your game. You're still a little streaky, but you're still a 20-point-per-game scorer who can bring in about 6 rebounds, 4 assists. Kind of versatile. Would love to see you on the defensive end. But, hey, I think a lot of teams in the NBA could use that. My only issue with you ever was your work ethic, which we highlighted last year. Seems like you might have improved that a little bit. So you're maturing. That's a quality tradable asset right there, the Wizards. So again, that's someone you could actually trade if you're trying to worry about a team for the future, which I think y'all should be doing. Jordan Poole. I don't know if you can trade that brother just yet, because he still comes off as a little bit immature, which I get it. He's still young, right? But would a lot of teams want to work with that? I don't know. Again, he has talent, right? We've seen the highlights. We know he's dropped a couple 30 burgers, but again, the inconsistency is what is the eye-popping thing. So for Kyle Kuzma, if I had to trade him to some team and Jordan Poole to some team, I ain't gonna lie, I would actually like to see both go to the Heat or the Spurs. the structure, the professionalism they have for those organizations, I don't think they go outside of that realm. And that would be good for them, for their careers at least. Now, if they rebel against that, then it wouldn't be. But those are two situations where I think they both could thrive. And again, we've seen Jordan Poole in a professional situation. It might not be as fun as the Heat or the Spurs. Maybe the Heat's more so than the Spurs. But you at least got that tutelage there to help out. So if I'm the Wizards, I'm looking to see what players I can, kind of snag from those two teams if I'm looking to help out with Kyle Kuzma and Jordan Poole's development. But they also got some pieces over there too that you can flip for Jordan Poole and Kyle Kuzma, and that ain't that bad either. But that's my thoughts though. Wizards, y'all do have some tradable assets. So it's really just the timing purposes. It's really just the timing of it, honestly. The Atlanta Hawks are currently 11th in the East right now. And I got to say this, bro. We got to look at who the top complementary players to Trae Young. Reason why Trae Young's the engine that keeps the train rolling. Well, he got to have a solid support, right? So when I'm looking at the players, I got to start it off with Clint Capella. Now, here's my thing. Clint, you're a top complimentary player, fella. You got to improve your blocks just a little bit for me. You give him about 1.7. I would love to see you get that into 2s. You know what I mean? There's a couple players in the NBA who are doing that. Nicholas Claxton, I think you can rival Nicholas Claxton on the defensive end. But he giving me about 2 and some change. I can't make a good enough case for you outside of history. So again, I need you to help out. Jalen Johnson, look, I like Jalen. He came from Duke. I got some issues with him personally, but I got to rock with my boys still. So, Jalen, athletic forward who's versatile. You can't be wrong with athletes in the NBA. And pairing that with Trae Young, too, someone who's pass happy, you're going to see a couple of alley-oops from Jalen Johnson. Not to mention he can attack. Remember, Jalen Johnson was quite a highly touted recruit in high school. So, if we can get that into the NBA, I think we good. I think it's just from a timing perspective. It's a little too young right now. But again, a top complimentary player for me because I think the boy's getting about 14 points a game. That ain't bad, especially when he's just trying to figure it out still. We also got DeAndre Hunter, who is, a stockier forward, right? So he can guard those bigger 4s. And he give me 40% from 3 because you got to go small ball with this lineup. That's what I'm looking at. Because I don't see any bigs on the team unless you want to throw a Nneka Okongwu. But I don't think he's outplayed DeAndre Hunter, especially if DeAndre is shooting 40% from the Tracy ball. Now, if that dips, we can talk about throwing Nneka Okongwu into that mix. But DeAndre Hunter, I like him there. Plus, he can score pretty decently. Playmaking, I might want to see you improve that because you about 1.4 assists to 1.5 turnovers. No, I don't like that at all, DeAndre. You got to show your playmaking a little bit better. At least get a 1-to-1 ratio, bro. So just improve that a little bit. And then, finally, I got to save this guy for last. DeJounte Murray. I got to save you for last just because it could go one of two ways, right? If Trae Young continues to hit the Tracy ball the way he's been doing, cool. You're a top complimentary player because you're bringing in 20 points a game. Plus, you can make the hell out of the ball, and you can defend. If not, you and Trae Young kind of clash a little bit. Y'all games kind of overlap in terms of your roles. So, again, I like this version of Trae Young paired with DeJounte Murray, which is why I told you guys if Trae Young can be better off ball, can shoot 3 a little bit better, more efficient, we're good to go. And that's what's been happening thus far, at least over this last month. So, let's see if that continues to happen, ladies and gentlemen. But Trae Young, you got to continue to do what you've been doing for these complimentary players, quote unquote, to help you out. So let's see what the Hawks continue to do, ladies and gentlemen.
Swanky's Construction serves as a general contractor in the metropolitan DC area. We're a team of certified professionals who tackle everything from complex large projects to smaller scale jobs. Fueled by our commitment to excellence, we go the extra mile to make sure clients are completely satisfied with our work. Swanky's Construction takes pride in ensuring our clients' home improvement needs are met with efficiency, precision, and perfection. Call us today. You're only seconds away from a consultation or in-person walkthrough.
Didn't I tell you there was drama? Didn't I tell you there was news? Didn't I tell your ass you were going to like it? Bro, there's so much to talk about within the divisions. It's crazy. But don't worry, though. We will definitely have more to talk about. There's so much more to talk about. So don't be upset. But look, Please continue to support the page. Like, subscribe, comment, tell anyone about the show. My name is Trey. I'm the host of your favorite show's favorite show. Get a bucket. Hope you all have a good one. Take care.
Oh, I did not know you guys were still here. As you can see, we're at the back end of the show. No pun intended, but look, hope you all enjoyed it. And before you go, please subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow the IG account, share the content to anybody who's anybody. And most importantly, leave your thoughts and comments below. But I gotta go back and play Buddy in 2K, so let me unmute him real quick. Excuse me. Hey, boss, I'm back. Nah, you better catch this word. You know we get buckets around here, too.